On Royal Street, deep within the humid, whispering heart of New Orleans, stands a house unlike any other. Its elegant ironwork and shuttered windows betray little of the profound suffering it allegedly holds, a silent, imposing sentinel draped in the city's thick, melancholic air. This is the LaLaurie Mansion, and its very stones seem to exhale a history so dark, so steeped in human cruelty, that the mere mention of its name can cast a pall over even the brightest Mardi Gras revelry. You feel it, don't you? That subtle shift in the atmosphere, a cool breath against your neck, even on the hottest day, as if the very air remembers. The mansion, built in the early 19th century, was once a beacon of Creole opulence, a grand home befitting a woman of considerable social standing. Its balconies overlooked the vibrant, chaotic dance of the French Quarter, a stage for the city's elite. But beneath this veneer of sophisticated charm, behind the polished cypress and the heavy draperies, a terrifying darkness festered, nurtured by the woman who presided over it all, Madame Delphine LaLaurie. Her beauty was reportedly legendary, her soirees the talk of the town, yet an unsettling current of whispered rumors always followed her, like shadows clinging to a moonlit alley. For years, the tales remained mere whispers, fragments of gossip exchanged in hushed tones over clinking glasses of absinthe. There were stories of enslaved people disappearing, of strange cries heard in the dead of night, of a chilling detachment in Madame Delphine's eyes. These were the undercurrents of a society built on the precarious balance of privilege and subjugation, where the suffering of some was often ignored by many. Yet even in a time accustomed to such harsh realities, the true extent of the LaLaurie Mansion's depravity would prove too monstrous to ignore. The facade of genteel society shattered on a sweltering night in April 1834. A fire broke out in the mansion's kitchen, allegedly started by a cook, an enslaved woman chained to the stove, who later confessed she wished to end her own life rather than face Madame LaLaurie's unimaginable tortures. As the flames licked at the historic timbers, neighbors and firefighters rushed to assist, forcing their way into the inferno. What they discovered within the locked attic rooms and secret chambers was a scene of such unspeakable horror that it forever seared the LaLaurie name into the annals of American villainy. Historical records and local accounts describe a tableau of grotesque cruelty. Enslaved men and women found mutilated, starved, and subjected to medical experiments of a most barbaric nature. Limbs were reportedly broken and reset at unnatural angles, bodies were found caged, and some victims were allegedly subjected to bizarre, agonizing procedures. The details, too graphic to fully recount, painted a picture of systematic, sadistic torment that went far beyond the already brutal norms of the era. It was a revelation that turned the collective stomach of New Orleans, transforming a respected socialite into a monstrous figure of infamy. The city erupted in a furious mob, their righteous anger fueled by the horrific discoveries. They stormed the mansion, intent on dispensing their own brand of justice upon Madame LaLaurie. But she, ever cunning, managed to escape the furious crowd, reportedly fleeing New Orleans under the cover of darkness, spirited away to France, never to face earthly retribution for her crimes. Yet, the house she left behind, scarred by fire and saturated with the echoes of profound suffering, would never truly be free of her or her victims. It became a monument to their anguish, a place where the past refused to die. Almost immediately the reports began. Subsequent owners and tenants, brave or foolish enough to inhabit the infamous dwelling, spoke of inexplicable phenomena, disembodied screams, chilling moans, and the clanking of chains were allegedly heard emanating from the empty rooms, particularly from the attic where the most heinous acts had reportedly occurred. Servants refused to stay, driven away by unseen hands, spectral presences, and the palpable sense of dread that permeated every corner of the vast estate. The house itself seemed to recoil from human habitation, a wound refusing to heal. Visitors to the mansion, even those skeptical of the supernatural, speak of an immediate, oppressive heaviness that descends upon them the moment they cross the threshold. A profound coldness is often reported, even in the suffocating Louisiana heat, a chill that seems to seep not from the air, but from within the very fabric of the building. It is a coldness that feels ancient, mournful, and infused with an unbearable sadness, as if the walls themselves weep for the atrocities they witnessed. This isn't just a draft, it's the alleged touch of history's deepest sorrow. Beyond the generalized sense of unease, many accounts detail more specific, terrifying manifestations. Witnesses have reportedly seen the spectral forms of the enslaved victims, their faces contorted in expressions of terror or agony, wandering the halls or appearing briefly in windows. Some claim to have been physically touched, pushed, or scratched by invisible forces. The sounds of desperate pleas, weeping, and even the crack of a whip are believed to echo through the empty rooms, a macabre symphony of a past that refuses to be silenced, a constant chilling reminder of the horrors that unfolded within. In the parlance of the Deep South, such lingering spirits are often called haints, entities tied to a specific place by unresolved trauma or violent death. The LaLaurie Mansion is, by all accounts, a veritable crucible for such haints, a place where the veil between worlds is exceptionally thin. The suffering of the enslaved people, brutalized and denied peace in life, is believed to have anchored their spirits to the very bricks and mortar of their torment, creating a perpetual haunting that defies explanation and time. Their stories, though often unspoken in history books, live on in the chilling folklore of the mansion. Over the centuries, the LaLaurie Mansion has passed through countless hands, each owner attempting to reclaim its grandeur, to erase its dark stain. It has served as a school, a furniture store, a conservatory of music, and even an apartment building. Yet every venture, every attempt at normalcy has reportedly met with failure, often attributed to the overwhelming paranormal activity that drives away residents, students, and customers alike. The house seems to reject any attempt to forget its past, actively resisting the passage of time and the efforts of those who seek to whitewash its legacy. The very architecture of the mansion seems to hold secrets, its deep shadowed corners and labyrinthine passages suggesting places for concealment and silent suffering. One can almost imagine the heavy doors closing, trapping the cries within, the thick walls muffling the sounds of anguish from the vibrant street outside. The grand staircase, once trod by elegant ladies and gentlemen, now allegedly carries the spectral footsteps of those who were never meant to be seen, their silent descent a permanent fixture in the mansion's ghostly narrative. The physical space itself is a character, a silent accomplice to the historical atrocities. Modern visitors, drawn by the mansion's macabre reputation, often report profound and disturbing experiences. Tour guides speak of unexplained electrical disturbances, objects moving on their own, and the distinct sensation of being watched by unseen eyes. Some have captured chilling images, unexplainable anomalies in photographs, or recorded disembodied voices that seem to whisper from the very air. These contemporary accounts reinforce the persistent belief that the mansion is not merely a historical site, but an active portal to a profoundly disturbed past, a place where the echoes are not just metaphorical. New Orleans itself, a city built on a foundation of diverse cultures, mystical practices, and a deep reverence for its own complex history, provides a fertile ground for such legends. The city's humid, heavy air seems to carry stories on the breeze, its ancient oak trees draped in Spanish moss, whispering tales of old voodoo traditions, born of West African and Caribbean spiritual practices, often speak of spirits lingering, of the power of place, and of the profound impact of past suffering on the present. The LaLaurie Mansion, therefore, is not an anomaly, but a concentrated embodiment of the city's spectral heart. Beyond the urban sprawl, the nearby bayou country, with its cypress knees rising from murky waters and its kudzu-choked landscapes, adds to the Deep South's mystique. The very land here feels ancient, steeped in untold stories, both beautiful and tragic. This pervasive atmosphere of history and mystery lends credence to the idea that the LaLaurie Mansion's hauntings are deeply rooted in the regional consciousness, a manifestation of the collective memory of a brutal past. The South, as a character, never truly lets go of its wounds, allowing them to fester and manifest in unsettling ways. What lingers in the LaLaurie Mansion is believed to be more than just individual spirits. It is arguably a residual haunting, an imprint of intense emotion and repeated actions embedded into the very fabric of the building. The sheer volume and intensity of suffering, the terror, the despair, the agonizing pain, all are believed to have left an indelible mark, playing out like a never-ending, horrific loop. This theory suggests that the mansion itself is a kind of dark mirror, reflecting the past without conscious intent, a permanent record of human depravity. For those who have dared to spend extended time within its walls, the alleged hauntings become an almost personal burden. The constant feeling of a heavy, oppressive presence, the chilling whispers that seem to call one's name, the fleeting shadows that dart across peripheral vision, all contribute to a profound sense of psychological torment. It is not merely the fear of ghosts, but the crushing weight of historical trauma, the empathetic connection to the suffering that allegedly continues to unfold within its confines. The mansion forces you to confront the darkest aspects of humanity, even centuries later. It is vital to remember that the alleged spirits of the LaLaurie Mansion are not mere specters for entertainment. They are believed to be the wronged, the tortured, the forgotten. Their alleged presence serves as a constant, harrowing reminder of the enslaved people who suffered unspeakable cruelties, their humanity denied, their lives extinguished in terror. The hauntings, if believed, are not just spooky tales, but a cry from history, a demand for remembrance and recognition of the profound injustices committed within those walls. The house ensures their stories, in some form, are never truly silenced. The LaLaurie Mansion, then, is more than just a notorious dwelling on Royal Street. It is a living, breathing testament to the enduring power of human suffering and the relentless grip of a past that refuses to be buried. It stands as a dark monument to Madame Delphine LaLaurie's unspeakable acts, a perpetual stage for the alleged echoes of her victims. The house itself has become a character in New Orleans' darkest narrative, a place that cannot, and perhaps will never, find peace. Its suffering, like the humid air of the Deep South, is constant, heavy, and undeniably present. And so, the LaLaurie Mansion continues to suffer, its alleged torment a wound in the heart of the French Quarter, a perpetual reminder that some histories are too dark, too deeply etched into the very soul of a place to ever truly fade. The echoes of anguish, the whispers of the wronged, and the chilling presence of unspeakable cruelty remain, a melancholic song played on the ancient timbers and shadowed halls, asking you, as it asks everyone who approaches, to remember what happened here. The Deep South, in its own unsettling way, ensures that some stories are always, irrevocably, still here.